Hi everyone, it's BDevine, of course, and welcome to this message on the new moon in Capricorn and the energy of the guardians. And this is going to be just a little bit of a deeper dive into this moon and some extra flame wall practices for you as well. And we have the guardians of Atlantis also coming in. I've noticed this, the Lemurian and the Atlantean energy being around a lot. So let's explore a little bit more of that. And in the comments, I will have links to all things. For example, the free course, the Flame Foundation course, and also my Patreon page, where you can join in on this huge webinar on the 31st of January. We are going to unlock Vault 111 and we're going to work with the Temple of the Black Mirror amongst other things as well. So if you'd like to get more in depth with this work, please join me for these. It's more powerful the more people we have as well. I'm also doing on the 28th of February live with you a weight and body reset for 4 weeks. This is not about weightlifting or doing massive exercises or even diet. It's just a different way of looking at weight and ways in which you can remove density. And there's going to be quite a lot of information for that. If you are with me live, it's going to be huge for you. So yeah, I'm looking forward to doing these things live with each one of you. So the deeper Atlantean version here of this new moon, of course I've got some notes. This is a Capricorn new moon, which means it is a structure moon, okay? Atlantean guardians are the keepers of structure. This is why it is working really well together. So we're going to dive in. Here we go. So this is not a soft portal that we're moving into, by the way. It's a guardian moon because Capricorn rules boundaries, standards, responsibility, hard work, right? Authority, and also the long game. So when a moon like this activates, the Atlantean current returns, not as nostalgia, but as function. So we're going to do 3 things. We're going to understand why Capricorn new moon impacts the flame path so intensely. We're going to understand why Atlantean guardians are with us now. And we're going to build an upgraded Atlantean flame wall, okay, of protection. A living structure that seals the field, filters access, and stabilizes the nervous system. The more that you stabilize your nervous system, the more that you are a clear signal receiver. Okay, so you are then able to distinguish between distorted BS that you're hearing and a structure that you know is correct. When something is correct, information that you're receiving is correct, you feel calm, okay, and you just feel balanced and you feel very sure. But if you're scattered and all over the place, you'll just get distorted messages coming in. And the main practice of the flame is to steady you back into a space where your architecture was perfect for yourself, for your life, your blueprint perfect. The abilities natural. You don't need to seek outside of yourself, right? You are very, very strong because you are always relying on the inner flame. You use the flame for everything, for restoration. The old word is like healing, right? For working with animals, for working with grid lines, for working with restoring yourself in different areas, okay, and understanding why sometimes things come up. So the new moon always brings new beginnings. So we're going to look at some of the things that need to also release and why that's happening, and doing a little bit of a check-in, right? So, guardians always appear more fully when a threshold, and we've talked about threshold, is reached, okay? So the collective is overwhelmed at the moment. Maybe not you all who are focusing on your flame energy, but on the outside collective, everyone's just cuckoo, right? So the overwhelm creates confusion, dependency, susceptibility to manipulation, noise addiction, and energetic leakage. So the guardians don't arrive to make you mystical. They arrive so that things are coherent. Psychological mirror. When people don't feel safe internally, they chase safety externally. Through people, signs, readings, drama cycles, and constant checking. Guardian current is the return of internal safety. The psychological way in which we function has always been about defensive survival mechanisms from day dot. What you are doing is reconfiguring or rewiring how your brain assesses things. And when you can master this, okay, when you can master this steadiness, very little is going to be able to get you out of that, okay, because you're going to be able to sense it immediately and pull yourself back in, okay. People don't want us to know, or the powers that be, whatever you want to call it, don't want us to know that we can actually control our own nervous system, the way that we think and feel and receive information as well. So instead of telling you this, I will prove it as we are going forward. So, internal safety, which brings containment, signal clarity, clean agreements, the right people around you, and also consequence awareness. In other words, Atlantean guardians are here because your power, who you are as a soul, needs structure. We all need it. We all need it. So, the 4 Atlantean guardian functions. So, we'll keep them as archetypes so that you can understand them without worrying about anything. Okay. The architect guardian, which brings structure and standards. And this guardian governs containers, policies, systems, and sustainable devotion. The message is stop improvising your life. Remember, if you remember from before, I've taught you how strong guardians are. If not, you can watch the guardians versus angels or spirit guides. Stop improvising your life. The mirror guardian comes forth with truth and projection return. This guardian governs discernment, projection, deception, collapse, and self-responsibility. So it says, what's not yours returns, what is yours becomes clear. Okay? We are not sending from ourselves negative energy back to people. One of the pagan sayings is return to sender. That's not what we're doing. Okay? What ends up happening with the mirror is their own energy is reflected to themselves and intensifies. So if someone is really extremely annoyed when they've reached out to you and become even worse, right? It's because their own self, their own ugliness has been reflected back to them, not from you. But the mirror wall does this with our protection. So we're not sending anything back to anybody ourselves. It's literally being sent back by them, to them. It's neutralized from us, dissolved all cords, etc. So I just wanted to be very clear about this. We don't want to be playing ping pong with energy. I'm sending it back, they're sending it to me. I'm sending it back, they're sending it to me. Okay? No. When it's sent back to the sender, it's from their own vibe, their own stuff. Okay, so the gate guardian, access and timing. This guardian governs who enters, what enters, when it enters, and what must be earned. And the message is access is sacred to you. Access is sacred to you. You don't just let anybody in. In other words, everybody's noise and nonsense and drama and nastiness, you can't let that in and to impact you. You have to reinforce what you already have. And, you know, unfortunately, sometimes we have to be in a position where we have to see all of this. For example, my friend went to her funeral because it was her dad's funeral, and everybody was turning their back on her, like the family were nasty as hell, right? And so it's only natural to feel sinking because you're already going in there like, I've got to be so tough, I've got to be so tough, I've got to be so tough. And there they go with their nastiness and emotional manipulation and just, ugly poison, right? Now, you could say to yourself, why? Why are they so nasty? Or you could be in the flame energy saying, who cares? It's only going to be reflected right back to them. I went for my dad, or I went for whatever reason. I stood my ground. The way they carry on is on them, right? But it can reinforce sometimes that boundary that needs to shut, right? So the gate guardian governs this. Ask that to be more enforced for you if you need, because your access to you is sacred. There's no BS. The grid sentinel. This guardian governs energetic boundaries, field sealing, and pressure management. So this is about containment before expansion. So these aren't characters, okay? They are functions of sovereignty. You start becoming extremely strong, extremely clued in to what you need to do, what you have been doing, where you're going, what's good for you, what's not, what's worth it, what isn't. Are you steady? Are you clean? Are you clear? Are you focused? Are you letting yourself spiral? Are you looping? Are you defending? Are you angry? Like all of these things start to become extremely clear to you, okay? So we regulate it first, because a dysregulated person cannot function, cannot discern. So, in for 4, exhale for 8. 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 I return to center. I return to signal. Okay? Nervous system says we're safe. Okay. Capricorn moon. Capricorn new moon. Capricorn is the builder of reality. So on a flame journey, it highlights where your standards are unclear, where you keep negotiating your worth. Sometimes people still ask me, can you just do a reading for me? And I can't compromise. I can't compromise anymore. The only person that gets readings from me is my son, because he's learning about this and he's interested, and it's a way that I can get the message to him, right? So where are your standards unclear? Where do you keep negotiating your worth? Where your boundaries are optional? Where you keep opening the door to what drains you? Now, Capricorn's gift is not inspiration. It is follow through. The new moon asks you, what are you building that your nervous system can trust? What are you building that your nervous system can trust? So we're going to build an Atlantean flame wall right now. And it's energetic, and it is a psychological command structure. So it's powerful. And the reason I'm using a lot of psychology or psychological terms and all this kind of thing is because I'm trying to open the mystic, the flame energy, to absolutely anyone who may benefit from it. I mean, everyone will benefit from the flame, but there may be people like psychologists and therapists and counselors who aren't looking at things that are esoteric or things that are different, right? They may see spirituality, as I've told you, as woo-woo. But mysticism encompasses absolutely everything from every area. And we bring the flame sovereignty into it. Okay, you start steadying out, you start becoming really, really, really strong. Everybody benefits. Okay, so this wall is a boundary for your attention, a filter for access, a mirror for projection, and a stabilizer for the nervous system. If you're a sensitive empath, this is how you're going to stop being open all the time. You don't have to suffer here. Your life isn't about absorbing as a sponge for everybody else. Take your power back. You're never meant to have been taking on everyone else's stuff. Never. Okay? So, here we go. Place one of your hands on your sternum and one on the lower belly. And we're going to move our breath in for 4. Hold for 2, out for 8. And again, in for 4. Hold for 2, out for 8. I call my power home. I release what is not mine. Now we're going to ignite the core flame. Imagining a small flame in your chest. Doesn't matter what color. Okay, don't get hung up on details. Just imagine, small flame. It may show itself to you. It's not huge, it's not chaotic. It's like a pilot light. It's steady and intelligent. On each inhale, it brightens. On each exhale, it becomes refined, like molten gold. And we say, my flame is coherent. My flame is sovereign. My flame is protected. Now we imagine 4 presences taking position around you. North, the architect guardian. East, the gate guardian. South, the grid sentinel. And west, the mirror guardian. You do not need to see them perfectly. Just feel the function. North feels like steadiness. East feels like a doorway closing. South feels like strength. And west feels like clarity. And we say, guardians of the Atlantean line, stand with me now. Not for drama, for structure. Not for fear, for truth. Not for performance, for protection. And at your feet, see a luminous ring form, a perfect circle around you. Layer 1 is an obsidian base. Nothing is going to drain through. Layer 2 is a crystalline gold, truth only filter. And layer 3 is a white flame of purification. And we say this ring defines my domain. My energy has a border. My life is not public. And we raise the flame wall. From the foundation ring, the wall rises slowly and smoothly like a living temple. It rises past your knees, your hips, your heart, your throat, your crown, until it closes overhead like a dome of structured flame. It's not fire. This is Atlantean flame architecture, geometric, stable and intelligent. I speak the command codes. My time is sacred. My energy is not for public use. Only aligned access remains. All distortion dissolves at my edge. Your nervous system should settle just at that. Now we install our mirror layer. So now the inside of the wall becomes subtly mirrored, not shiny like glass, but like luminous water. The mirror does one thing. It returns projection to its source neutralized. I don't carry what is mine. I release all projection, guilt, and manipulation. Return to origin neutralized. Now we call the mirror guardian from the west to seal that layer. Mirror guardian, hold truth at the perimeter. Now, in front of you, a gate appears. This gate is your main door for the next 30 days. The East Gate Guardian, he or she, stands here. So we say, Gate Guardian, close all false entrances. Only my chosen door remains. Now speak your main door out loud. My main door is whatever that is for you. Then you can speak your fence. My fence is powerful, whatever it is for you. Whatever is not aligned with my main door, it does not get to enter. Now we seal this wall for 30 days. The architect guardian on the north of you speaks through you. This flame wall stands for 30 days. It strengthens through my standards. It collapses only when I betray myself. Now the grid sentinel from the south seals the perimeter. My field is sealed. My home is sealed. My work is sealed. My animals are sealed. And breathe. And then you say to yourself, what do I stop feeding right now? And then you say, no more. And open your eyes. Okay. So this is a nice way of reinforcing yourself. It's going to be up to every single individual how something affects them, how they let something affect them as well, and what things still need to be resolved within you. There are times when, for example, okay, I guess I'll share this with you. My youngest and middle son, 2 boys, my first 2 boys, same dad. My youngest son, different dad. Anyway, this is how it goes, right? So, when they were really small, everything, I was always just on a nervous wreck around their dad, right? There's multiple videos I've made talking about this guy, but one of the biggest things that I realized was still remaining around me was that anytime someone's looking for something, okay, so my son comes in and he's in the kitchen and he's starting to go through the cupboards or something, immediately I'm like, okay, what can I get you? Are you looking for something? I can help you find it, whatever it is, right? And I find myself asking those things because, one, I do want to hurry up and get whatever it is that he needs to get in the kitchen so he's not standing. You know how men, they have a man's look. It's never past their nose. It's just like, it's not there. It's like, well, if you move something, you might find it. But so part of it is just like trying to help, okay? But part of it is a reaction to when their dad, when they were little, used to go bananas if he couldn't find something. Like, couldn't find his socks, he couldn't find this, he couldn't find. So I'd be like, where is everything? Like, knowing where everything is. And I know that most mums do know, or parents that are raising their kids, right? You know where most everything is in your home because most likely you put it there. So this little panic would come up. So, I would just quickly try to help and quickly eliminate, and later on sort of worked out that it was a possibility of someone screaming or having a tantrum because they can't find what they're looking for or whatever, even though my son has never done that. But yeah, sometimes even my husband noticed, like, yeah, you quickly are there to try to find whatever it is that I need. Yes, part of it is wanting to just help, right? Or wanting them to get out of the kitchen real quickly. But it does stem from that darker spot, right? So you are going to be shown sometimes in your life, as clever as we think we are at getting past something, you're still going to be shown sometimes where there are remnants of that past within you, right? Parts of it that still are alive. And when you recognize it, like I recognize where the basis of it comes from, when you recognize it, then you can start addressing that and relax a little bit more. If someone's looking around for something, unless they ask me, I'll just relax a little bit more, right? So this is what the guardians are sort of doing, is responding to our behavior. So if you want the guardianship of your energy to sort of hold itself in place, keep your boundaries, keep your rhythm, stop explaining, stop reopening doors that you closed. So you could do a guardian check by holding onto your chest here and say, guardians, hold my line. Only aligned access remains. Some signs that this is working with you is that you feel calmer after saying no. you have a less desire to sort of share everything. So I even hesitated doing that because I can't be, it's not, it's just so distant, if that makes sense. Even though it has popped up recently, it's still like I can't even get over that was me, you know, for so long. Living in like edge of the seat, kind of like, you know, eggshells. Your message gets sharper. So when I'm making these recordings or doing it on TikTok or doing it wherever, so it's just, it is what it is. The message is what it is for the day, or the reminder, or whatever it is. It just is what it is. And so people are used to this fluffy talk or whatever. I have no desire for any of that. It's just, this is what we do, and then we get this. You know, if we're doing this, this is what's going to happen. You know, if you're doing that, then that's going to happen over there. So it's very direct. And some people are put off by it. That's okay. They're not ready. That's okay. Not everybody's ready to be like this and to have this strength and to be, you know, when you speak, it's very clear, right? It's very clear. You choose one focus and you repeat the focus, right? So steadying yourself, firewall on, flame on, put your mirror wall around you, get the north, south, east and west protection, protect your astral field, right? And make sure that you're then monitoring yourself for the day. No, there's a no BS meter. You stop chasing people as well. Oh, just understand, please, please understand. Don't, you know, I'm trying to explain this, blah, blah, blah. No more of that. So the guardians start doing their job. They sort the access, right? The new moon in Capricorn is a builder. The Atlantean guardians are here because your next level requires structure, containment, and clean consequence. So with your main door, what are you going to build for the next 30 days? And for your fence, what are you enforcing for 30 days? And repeat, my time is sacred. My energy is not for public use. Only truth remains. If you want to have some names, we don't need names, but okay. The architect guardian said the name was Aurelius. Aurelius. The gate guardian said Kael Vor. The mirror guardian said Seraphine of the mirror. And the grid sentinel says Thalos Sentinel. Okay? The other thing that I just wanted to quickly shoot on about was, I know some of you like, I love this book. If you are someone who wants to understand more about symbology and like deeper psychological meanings to things, this is the book. It's an ugly cover by J.E. Silo. Now, I haven't read this through and over. I just get tidbits, right? So, isn't that interesting? I just turned to the page door. So let me read this. This is a feminine symbol, which, notwithstanding, contains all the implications of the symbolic whole, since it is the door which gives access to the whole. Its significance is therefore the antithesis of the wall. Oh my God, here we go. There is the same relationship between the temple door. Can you believe this, the way that this is talking to us? Hang on. There is the same relationship between the temple door and the altar as between the circumference and the center. Even though in each case the two component elements are the farthest apart, they are nonetheless, in a way, the closest, since the one determines and reflects the other. Oh my God. This is well illustrated in the architectural ornamentation of cathedrals, where the facade or facade is nearly always treated as if it were an altarpiece. What the? Now come on, this word architecture. This is from 1962 or something. The word architecture, the word wall was in here. The door giving access, right? And the same relationship between the temple door and the altar as between the circumference and the center, right? Okay, we got another one that we've got here. That was all there was about it. Hang on a second. But we also got moon. Now, the moon from the tarot deck is also in here. But let's have a look at this real quick. Now, okay. The first thing about the moon that it says in here is its symbolism is wide in scope. It's very complex. So we're not going to go through everything. But it calls it, okay, it calls it a satellite. It says the power of this satellite was noted by Cicero when he observed that every month the moon completes the same trajectory executed by the sun in a year. It contributes in large measure to the maturation of shrubs and the growth of animals. This helps explain the important role of the lunar goddesses such as Ishtar, Hathor, Anatis, and Artemis. Okay, so we're aware of the moon and the tides and all of this. So what I'm trying to do is just skim past this because I don't want to read 2 pages. So it's talking about all these different types of gods and goddesses, okay? Right, okay. All right, hang on a minute. All right. Myths and legends of the spinners. So you might know about the Norns in Greek mythology, right? The weavers. Again, we are weavers of time. Here we are. So when patriarchy superseded matriarchy, right? So when male energy apparently superseded female, a feminine character came to be attributed to the moon, and a masculine one came to be attributed to the sun. So the hieros gamos, generally understood as the marriage of heaven and earth, may also be taken as the union of the sun and the moon. It's generally conceded nowadays that the lunar rhythms were used before the solar rhythms as measures of time. And there's also a possible equation with the resurrection. Spring follows upon winter. Flowers appear after the frost. The sun rises again after the gloom of night. And the crescent moon grows out of the new moon. So there's a connection between these cosmic events and the myth of the periodic creation and recreation of the universe. The regulating function of the moon can also be seen in the distribution of the waters and the rains, and hence it made an early appearance as the mediator between heaven and earth, right? So, let me go above all. Above all, it is the being which does not keep its identity but suffers painful modifications to its shape as clear and entirely visible circle. These phases are connected to the seasons of the year and to the ages in the span of man's life, and are the reasons for the affinity of the moon with the biological order of things, since it's also subject to the laws of change and growth from youth to maturity and decline from maturity to old age. This accounts for the mythic belief that the moon's invisible phase corresponds to death in man, and in consequence, the idea that the dead go to the moon and return from it. Death observes is not therefore an extinction but a temporal modification for the plan of life. For 3 nights the moon disappears from heaven, but on the 4th day it's reborn. This is where we're getting the 3 days, right? Jesus. Okay. The idea of the journey to the moon after death is one which has been preserved in the more advanced cultures in Greece, India, and Iran. Pythagorean thought imparted a fresh impulse to astral theology, the islands of the blessed, and all mythic geography came to be projected on the celestial planes, the sun, the moon, and the Milky Way. It's not difficult to find in these later formulas the traditional themes of the moon as the land of the dead, or as the regenerating receptacle of souls. But lunar space was no more than one stage in the ascension. There were others: the sun, the Milky Way, the supreme circle. This is the reason why the moon presides over the formation of organisms and also over their decomposition. Its destiny consists of reabsorbing forms and recreating them. Okay. Again, songs like Dark Side of the Moon, Meet Me on the Dark Side of the Moon, right? So anyway, it's actually an egg shape. I just want to see if there's one more thing. I mean, there's tons here. I can't go over it all. So if we are understanding the moon as a new moon, okay, where it's going to be like for 3 days, you can't see the moon, right? It's a place of what's the word? Regeneration. Okay, it's a place of regeneration that you're in right now. Place of regeneration. Coming out the other side, reformed and beginning in a new way as the new moon starts and it becomes a crescent moon, right? It starts moving towards that. Okay. Oh my God. Okay, here we go. Wait a minute, 1 second. Animals regarded as lunar are those which alternate between appearance and disappearance. A snail, right? Leaves its shell, goes back to it. Crabs going back to it. Lobsters, crustaceans. Or the bear which vanishes in winter and reappears in spring. And so on. Okay. Lunar objects may be taken as those of a passive, okay? Lunar objects may be taken as those of a passive or reflecting character, like the mirror. This is where I went, oh my God. Like the mirror, or those things which can alter their surface area like a fan, right? An interesting point to note is that both the mirror and the fan and the moon are feminine, and so is the doorway in character. Okay. The volatile and the mutable. And the nature of phases. So, as we are getting deeper and deeper and deeper into this work, and we start understanding symbolism of things, is also helpful to understand why things are the way that they are, or how they've always been, or how people perceived things in the past. It is constantly showing me, over and over and over again, just through random things or whatever, even, how powerful this work actually is, right? How it is allowing us to sort of regenerate our own being and come out the other side even more powerful, even more knowledgeable, clearer, more concise. There's less time to dilly-dally kind of thing, right? It becomes, you become all of the things that you knew you were without all of the excess noise that you've had around you your whole life, the excess noise that you give to yourself as well. And then you come into the center and there's none of this, and it creates restoration, it creates healing, it creates change for you. And all of a sudden you're very shocked at yourself with what you say, how you answer something, how you finish something, what's getting to you, what's not. You're starting to understand your trigger points, and the way in which you might be still outsourcing or doubting yourself or whatever. And then you start understanding, where does that come from? What was happening? Why did I start doubting myself? Where is that from? And if it's from somebody else and their opinion of you, why does that person have more weight in your life than you do? So we start to understand ourselves as mystical beings, as sovereign beings, of strong beings, capable beings, confident beings, where the information continues to flow to us because our receiving is so strong, the signal's so strong, we receive it very easily, right? And then as you're going about your daily life, you sort of start to watch what you're looking at or how you're doing something, and you maintain this energy, and it feels good, right? It feels powerful. It feels nice not to have so much drama or so many things draining you, right? There's still things that come up in our life, no doubt, but there's a different viewpoint. There's a different way of looking at it and a different way of responding. So this new moon, have a think about what it is that you are regenerating, what it is that you're continuing, what this year is going to continually be for you, and also what you're willing to put aside completely and for good. So I hope that the mirror wall and the visualization of the flame wall has been helpful, and I will see you in the next video. Tomorrow I may not be here. We have visitors this week, so I'm looking forward to having fun there, but I will still see you. Okay, so until the next time, many blessings. Bye for now.